All right, what's up, guys? Jackson Neighbor here today, and today I wanted to talk about a pill that's kind of hard to swallow for some of us, especially those who are pursuing really big goals, who have a tough time understanding that this is a long game. There's a lot of time to do and accomplish what we're after. And this hard pill to swallow is sometimes we have to understand that we need to take a step back in order to take two steps forward. Sometimes it's hard for us to zoom out and see everything that's going on from a wide lens rather than a narrow lens. But sometimes we have to detach ourselves from our goals and our objectives so that we can give an unbiased perspective towards where we're actually at on achieving those goals and those objectives. Sometimes we get too caught up in the mundane. We get too caught up in trying to worry about, well, what's our life going to look like once we achieve these goals? How are people going to perceive us? Stuff like that. And so sometimes we get too caught up in the mud of that we can't step out of the mud to actually see that, hey, we're not on the right path. We're actually going away from where we want to go. We need to pull back, divert, so we can change routes and then get to where we actually want to go in a timely manner. This is tough for a lot of people because sometimes it sucks to realize that we made some progress, but we kind of hit a point where we're really not making any progress, and we need to take a step back so we can learn how we can make that progress. Some people are too hard-headed and don't want to accept this and keep trying to push and push and push and push, and then eventually they get hurt, they get burned out, or they just realize that they've been spinning the wheels for a very, very, very long time and no real progress has actually been made. And I wanted to give you guys an example of this that applies to myself as of recent that I've come across. And that's if you've watched my YouTube for a while, or if you scroll down to watch the Gift of Injury video, you'll know that I tore my adductor in late April. I'm still not even quite 16 weeks out of being injured yet. But I have a strongman meet coming up. We are seven weeks out from today when I'm recording this video. I don't know when it's going to drop on YouTube, but as of today in this recording, we're 7 weeks out. All my events don't really require too much of me to use my adductor, I guess. It's just very sagittal plane, transverse plane type stuff that I don't really need to use my adductor for, so it really hasn't been bothered by anything that I'm doing. But I also am signed up for a powerlifting meet October 19th. So it's about 5 weeks after my strongman meet. Originally, I wanted to use that meet to almost get my redemption from the meet that I had signed up for in May. I was on track to PR every single lift, PR my total, and then I got hurt and I could only bench, which I still walked away with a PR, but it wasn't even close to what I wanted, which is okay. But I realized that my expectations of being able to come back so fast and being able to put the weight that I want to put on the bar is just unrealistic. It's not going to be suitable for me. And honestly, it could just lead to a worse injury or another injury that I then have to come back from again as well. So what I did was I recognized the total that I want, and I set a date next year that I want to have it by. And so once my strongman meet's over and then my October meet's over, I have 2 more meets after that to set me up for where I want my total to be around this time next year. And so I understand that instead of trying to force the total of my meet in the upcoming meet in October, I understand that if I take a step back, use that meet to kind of get me back on track. I have another meet in January, maybe it's February, I can't remember. If I use that meet to then PR my total again and set me up for the big meet that I want to hit in May to then hit the total that I want to hit for next year, I have to take a step back, see where my weaknesses are, see where I'm at currently, use the meet in October to propel me to the meet in January, and then use the meet in January to propel me into the meet in May. Now, if I didn't take a step back and saw that I can actually PR my total in October and then PR it again in January, I would have been pushing way too hard and I would have tried to get the total that I'm after in October, which, like I said, ultimately would have probably led to another injury of some sort and a lot of disappointment. Therefore, I understood, for me at least, that I needed to rearrange my priorities. I needed to set things up in a logical way, and then approach my training and my everything outside of my training to cater towards those things. So I kind of know where I want to be a year from now, loosely. Therefore, now I can actually take the right steps every single day, every week, and every month, through each training block to continue to set me up and get me back healthy, from my adductor tear, without hopefully compromising another injury or area of my body. So it wasn't really a huge ego hit, because honestly I just had to look at it and was just like, I'm not even close to ready to hitting the total that I want, and that's totally okay. But it was better to acknowledge it and then do something about it than just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to try to push as hard as I humanly can, screw the injury, whatever happens happens. And that's just not the mindset or the attitude that I needed to approach this with. So there's an example of how I'm actually applying this, taking a step back to take 2 steps forward to my life. And so I hope that this video can kind of help you guys see how, if you're not really where you want to be, or you feel like you're not really making that progress, to detach from the situation, see it from an unbiased perspective, maybe ask those around you, people you train with, mentors, etc., whatever, about their thoughts and what they think about where you're at in your progress, and potentially what you could do to get around the roadblocks that you're facing. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe to the page. I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Kill it this weekend. Like I said, I don't know when this video is gonna get dropped, but I'm recording this on a Saturday, so if it gets dropped soon, crush it this weekend, guys. So appreciate all of you. Be great.